Hello, group. Welcome to Action Right Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, we're going to talk about the truly classic period of Whitesnake. Not the 1987 album. We all got that one, but that's not the truly classic album. Not talking about this. Not talking about Slip of the Tongue. Talking when David Coverdale, who is Whitesnake. After all, Whitesnake is singular. It's not Whitesnakes. Singular. Whitesnake. David Coverdale. We're not going to talk about when he's screaming like Robert Plant after he had his vocal cord surgery in order to break in America. Did a good job as a Robert Plant type singer. Jimmy Page thought so. Formed a band with Coverdale. But that's not the Coverdale we're going to talk about. We're talking about the guy just after T Purple. He was a T Purple singer. Remember, he was in T Purple. Burn, Stormbringer, Come Taste the Band. And he was hired by Ritchie Blackmore and Croup, basically because, well, they couldn't get Paul Rodgers. Decided Bad Company was a better idea. So, David Coverdale is kind of like a Paul Rodgers blues singer back then. Glenn Hughes would do the shrieking. The young Gillian would do. So, David Coverdale was a blues singer. And a good one. I fear it still is, when he wants to. But people, because of the mega success of this record, no one wants to hear David Coverdale sing the blues. They can still sing. You don't have to scream to sing the blues. So, what are we talking about then? We're talking about the first 5 Whitesnake records. They didn't break in America, but was huge in Europe, in England, and Japan. I'm not going to suggest the order I'm going to pick them in. The first record we're talking about, the debut, was Trouble. Where's my copy of Snakebite? Because we're not counting Snakebite. Here it is. Because Snakebite's only 4 songs. Okay? EP. It's a great EP. If I counted the EP, it would be number 4 out of 6. Because the 4 songs in the EP, classic songs. Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, huge hit. Come On, huge hit. You know, important song in the early days. Bloody Mary. I think Steal Away was the other one. I'm pretty sure they didn't break up the EP. But we're not going to count. It's only 4 songs. And of course, the killer live record of the classic lineup, the early classic lineup. Because we're talking about Micky Moody and Bernie Marsden on guitars, with two former bandmates from Deep Purple, Jon Lord on keyboards, Ian Paice on drums, and Neil Murray on bass. That's a heck of a band. So, to put this in chronological order, Trouble was the proper debut of a full-length record. Censorship occurring. Love Hunter. It's a Q-tuba. Ready to Rillin'. Come and Get It. And Saints and Sinners. Those are the 5 classic records with Bernie Marsden and Micky Moody on guitars, and they went on to do some business later. When the band broke up, that band, and David Coverdale decided, I'm gonna redo this band and make it in the States. Moody and Marsden did a number of records together under different titles, Company of Snakes and whatnot, and of course their own names, because that's how big Whitesnake was in Europe. That after the breakup, Marsden and Moody's coming, I want to see that. They're going to play the good Whitesnake songs. And they did. Yeah. Also not going to cover the solo records of David Coverdale before Whitesnake as a band formed. North Winds and Whitesnake. Not yet a band, just decent records. Not quite to the level of what we're going to talk about. And of course, in between the big hit record that we all own, in between we had Slide It In. We'll talk about that in a minute. Or a couple minutes. Shall we begin? I think I took too long to start. Number 5. Again, censorship. Love Hunter. The best album cover of all of them. You betcha. It's not that controversial, but I'm not taking chances at YouTube. Walk in the Shadow of the Blues. This is a sophomore record. Walking in the Shadow of the Blues. What year is this? This is 1979. Love Hunter came out. Walking in the Shadow of the Blues, classic. Love Hunter, the title track, classic. The rest of the songs here, not quite classic. Did I mention Martin Birch produces all 5 of these records? The famous producer, the in-house Deep Purple family producer of everybody. Deep Purple itself, Black Sabbath when Ronnie James Dio was in that band. He produced Rainbow, Rising for Pete's sake. He produced all 5 of these records we're going to talk about. So, Those two songs are classic. But didn't really sign up to hear Bernie Marsden sing a song. I like solo Bernie Marsden albums with him singing, no doubt. But he's not David Coverdale. Why is he getting a song on a Whitesnake record? Just saying. No, not the idea. And some other nice songs are here. You know, You and Me, Mean Business, Rock and Roll Women. The End of the Show song, We Wish You Well. As you go home after the concert, we wish you well. It's just not iconic Whitesnake. But it's pretty darn good. So, number 5, well, and of course the album cover is iconic. But it's number 5, Love Hunter. Number 4, the debut record, Trouble. Now we're beginning to talk. This sophomore record was a sophomore slump. Take Me With You. That's the opening track. That's the main trouble with Love Hunter. It had a really mediocre opening track. It's not even mentioned. Long Way From Home, right? Yeah, long way from a good opening track for a Whitesnake album. Take Me With You? Of course, that's the iconic ending song on the live record. Take Me With You? Holy crap. That's the opener. The title track, Trouble. Being a sleaze rock type of guy, Lie Down, a Martin love song. Lie down, I think I love you. Lie down, I think I care. A special place in my heart. Don't Mess With Me, Bulgin' Tom's Hat Trick, and Nighthawk, Vampire Blues. We're beginning to really talk here. Really nice record. Those debut, sophomore slump. Also, the first 2 records, they don't quite have the classic Whitesnake lineup. That is, Ian Paice from Deep Purple did not sign up yet. I forget my history. What was Ian doing instead? I don't know. Because of course, Bernie Marsden and Jon Lord and Ian Paice were all in this band right after or soon after the breakup of Deep Purple. Paice, Ashton, Lord. Nice album. And of course, you know, Bernie goes over to Whitesnake. Of course, that's how we define it. Jon Lord, of course, goes right over. Where's Ian? Where's Paice? He didn't show up for the first 2 records. Okay. So, is that what kind of holds back? I don't know if it's drums are holding back these 2 records. But you have Dave Dowle on drums instead. Dave Dowle has not turned out to be an iconic drummer. He's good. Not iconic. Ian Paice, iconic. So, you know, some good numbers here on Trouble. There's some good songs here. But some doesn't quite make the nut. And yeah, Moody-Marsden gets to sing a song again. It's your band, David. We're here to hear you sing. But he was a generous band leader. Let's leave it at that. So number 4 is Trouble. Now I'll arrange my notes. Number 3. Now we're getting to the elite classic business. Some old hand Whitesnake fans are going to say this is too low. Fair comment. But it's my ranking, not yours. Your ranking, put in the comments. Ready and rolling. This is where it really becomes about perfect records. Let me get my... Got Fool for Your Lovin', Sweet Talker. Oh, Sweet Talker. Carry Your Load. Yeah, it's a slow mid-pace number. But it's a whole lot better than the slow mid-pace numbers on the first 2 records. Blind Man. Oh. You gotta go, yeah, it's a weeper, but you actually listen to it. There's punch to that. Ain't Gonna Cry No More. Love Man, Black and Blue, She's a Woman. Maybe that second side isn't as strong as you like to be. But they're all good songs. Really good songs. Without really going into, bad ballad David Coverdale future, as we will see in a few years after he breaks up this band. But this is a hell of a record. It's my number 3. Ready and rolling. Some sentimental types will want to put it higher. And that's fine. But not for me. Number 2. Come and Get It. Oh. Some days, this is my favorite. But not most days. I get the listing of the songs in the back of this to make it easy on old man. Come and Get It itself. Hot Stuff. Don't Break My Heart Again. Lonely Days, Lonely Nights. Okay, those 2 songs are a little bit weepy. But then you get Wine, Women, and Song. I love Wine, Women, and Song. Nice little boogie woogie, piano from Jon Lord going on there. Child of Babylon. I think David Coverdale got caught listening to some Rainbow records. But it's a pretty good song. And then a streak of 3 really fun, kind of sleazy songs. Would I Lie to You? Yes, I would. Girl? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't lie to you. You, my loyal audience. I love my Whitesnake. That's not a lie. And I always talk about records I love. I don't talk about records not like other people with better ratings than me. Talk about records they hate. Why are you promoting bad records for? But back to this. The trio of great sleaze songs, Will I Lie to You, Girl, and Hit and Run. That is 3 great sleaze rock songs in a row. And then Till the Day I Die, which is another kind of repeat thing, but punch to it. You know, all 10 of these, even, you know, Don't Break My Heart Again, Lonely Days, Lonely Nights, they got punch to the darn things. Darn close to being perfect. Maybe it is. Come and Get It. Number 2. Now I'm going to surprise some people with number 1. Because a lot of people are going to say, well, it should be Ready and Rollin'. Number 1 should be Come and Get It, maybe. Or maybe they just have a sentimental spot in their heart for Love Hunter and Trouble. But my favorite, Moody-Marsden, Micky Moody guitar duo album, Saints and Sinners, where it all fell apart. The band fell apart. This is basically a contractual obligation record. Yeah. David Coverdale's ready to sign that contract with Kiffin Records, make his push in America. Already fired the band, fired his manager. You know, his daughter was sick, divorcing his wife. Everything's gone. He's in debt. Because, yeah, they're selling records in Europe and England and Japan, but the expenses was more than what they're bringing in. So, got to pay off that debt. And the band is ambitious, especially Bernie. Moody-Marsden, remember him singing songs in the first 2 records? Bernie had some ambition. Moody-Marsden was a bit ambitious in those days. So, you know, David just went, screw it. Everyone's fighting, not Jon Lord. You don't fire Jon Lord. Oh no, that would be insanity. The best keyboard player in rock and roll, you don't fire Jon Lord. Jon Lord stays. Okay? Everybody else, get out. There's the door. You're gone. But he still has to put out this record. They had the tracks down, and it's like, okay. And they finished it up. And by the album cover, you kind of see, okay, get it done. Get this record done and let me start my push in America with Slide It In the 1987 record. You know, and just David by himself in the back cover, because this is the last man standing, because it's his band anyway. You know, that really says contractual obligation record. Okay? No other people in the band, just me. Everyone else is out of here. I do love the cover too. I do like the cover, but back cover, contractual obligation. But what I love about this record, he already fired everybody. He already started putting together the Slide It In band. You know, Cozy Powell signed on. He's on drums. You know, yeah, you replace Ian Paice, you better have Cozy Powell. you know, brought in a hot jazz rock bass player, Colin Hodgson, right? Hodgson. You know, brought in the old trapeze guitar player from, you know, his old buddy Clint Hughes's old band Trapeze. You know, Moody wound up sticking around, but, you know, getting in anyway. But, so it's all gone to pot. Get this out, get the contract finished, let me get on with my life. So you would think it would just suck. Instead, well, you got the original versions of two of the biggest hits in Whitesnake history. Crying in the Rain and Here I Go Again. Both of which Coverdale co-wrote with Bernie Marsden. Now they'd be re-recorded. Where is it again? Throwing stuff around. Here it is. Both of them were re-recorded for this, with John Sykes playing a guitar. You know, Here I Go Again. He did Cry in the Rain. Yeah, Cry in the Rain is the first track. So, I mean, re-recorded those two songs for this record, but they're re-recordings from this record. Heck, when I was listening on YouTube, all the records I'm talking about is on YouTube. You know, well, at least the 5 picks, you know, because I was re-listening and checking on my judgment. Here I Go Again wasn't on. Yeah, hey, you want to listen to Saints and Sinners? Yes, I do. We're not going to play Here I Go Again. Whatever your problem is. But these songs are all great songs. No ballads. No ballads going on here. Yeah, Crying in the Rain and Here I Go Again are power ballads. Ballads? Oh, yeah. Great power to them. They're ballads. You know, there's songs about his divorce he's going through. Wait until you marry Tawny, David, but okay. But outside of those two, these songs are great rocking songs. Youngblood, Dope and Track, Rough and Ready, Bloody Luxury. You know, putting Jon Lord through his paces again. Some boogie woogie piano. Victim of Love, Love and Infection, Rock and Roll Angels, Dancing Girls. Talk about another, I didn't quite get a trio of sleeves here, but Rock and Roll Angels and Dancing Girls. Needed one more for another trio there, David. And of course, the title track, Saints and Sinners. And it was produced by Martin Birch. But the story goes, everyone was having problems, including Martin Birch, the great producer. Martin Birch. You know, the guy who produced Rainbow Rising, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. You know, the really good stuff. There's stuff I'm forgetting, of course. He was sick. On top of everything else, all the other problems of this band and everyone's partying, whatever. Birch gets sick. So he wasn't even supposed to produce this thing because he was sick. You know, had a guy Guy Bidmead, a future Motorhead producer. See, he's pretty good. He started this record. But then, with the problems of the band and everyone getting fired, finishing the record got delayed. And Martin got better. See, Martin came back and finished the record. And so this is credited to Martin Birch. But he wasn't supposed to do it because of his illness. And this is my favorite Whitesnake record, period. Yes. Even above this. Because, of course, do you have to put up with, is this love? Yes, you do. You have to put up with, is this love? In the middle of the record. I don't want that crap on my record. I want to rock. This rocks. Even the power ballads rock. The original Crying in the Rain and Here I Go Again. The originals are great in their own right. Absolutely amazing record. Saints and Sinners. If only every contractual application record was like this, life would be good. I guess that was the contractual application part. It's like, okay, you're not going to get any ballads label. Unless you like Here I Go Again and Crying in the Rain. My favorite Whitesnake record. Let alone the classic first 5 Whitesnake records. So, that is my ranking of the 5 classic lineup of Whitesnake. My top 2 choices, all with Ian Paice on drums. And that's a lineup. That's a band. Because of excessive, because this sold gazillion copies, multi-platinum, whatever. David Coverdale can't sing the blues anymore. He's old now. He fried his voice again. Never mind the vocal surgery that he had before this. He can sing the blues if he wants to, but no one wants to hear it. Want to see him scream these damn things. I got at least one live Whitesnake record from this period. That's what he's doing. He's just screaming. It's not even singing anymore. He's screaming live. That's what the... Want to hear David Coverdale sing? This is where you go. Hell of a singer. And that's what I got. So in the comments, talk about rank your 5. Moody-Marsden, Micky Moody, Jon Lord, Neil Murray, and Ian Paice / Dave Dowle. Whitesnake records. Give us your order. How do you put those 5? No wrong answers. I gave my rationale, but hey, whatever you want. No wrong answers. They're all 5 are great records, and hell, throw in Snakebite too. Where does that fit in the ranking? All great stuff. Like this video? Give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. And leave a comment. I don't bite. I may nibble. Never mind with who. But I don't bite. And for ladies in action rock, garage rock, and classic and legacy bands like Whitesnake, come back here to our Action Rock Corner. Remember, fresh music is important as fresh food. Have fun with your music. And thank you for watching. And we'll see you again soon.